It was a highly anticipated political town hall, streamed live across every major news network. A panel of public figures, including former President Donald Trump and Representative Jasmine Crockett, had gathered to debate current policy issues. The audience buzzed with anticipation, unsure whether the evening would end in dialogue or drama. Crockett took her seat, eyes calm but alert, knowing that words have power, and tonight, every syllable would count, as the moderator introduced. Topics ranging from economic reform to race relations, the conversation quickly grew heated. Trump, known for his bombastic style, began dominating the conversation. He interrupted, dismissed, and rolled his eyes at any comment that didn't align with his views. When Crockett began to speak on criminal justice reform, Trump smirked and muttered into his mic, "Sit down, girl. Nobody asked you." The room froze. For a split second, it felt as if time stopped. The audience gasped audibly. Even the moderator looked caught off guard. Crockett sat still, her face revealing no shock, just a slow-burning fire building behind her eyes. Everyone held their breath, waiting to see how she would respond. Crockett slowly leaned forward, her voice low but unmistakably powerful. "Mr. Trump," she began, "this girl was elected by over 150,000 voters to speak, not to sit. I was asked. I was chosen. And unlike you, I don't mistake arrogance for authority." The silence was thunderous. The audience didn't move, afraid to miss a word. Trump tried to interject, but Crockett lifted one finger, pausing him in place, not physically, but with sheer force of presence. "Respect is earned," she continued, "and last I checked, disrespect isn't a policy platform." The audience broke into applause. The moderator gave up trying to interrupt. Crockett had the floor now. The cameras zoomed in as she spoke. "With clarity and conviction, see, men like you call women girls to make yourselves feel bigger. But I don't shrink for anyone. I expand. I rise. I speak." Words rippled across living rooms in real time.
Ow.
Twitter exploded. Crockett clapped back, began trending instantly. Trump leaned back, visibly irritated, but said nothing. Crockett wasn't done. She pivoted seamlessly back to policy. "While you were golfing, I was passing legislation. While you were tweeting insults, I was fighting for housing, for health care, for fairness." Like, that's the difference between a leader and a loudmouth. The audience erupted in cheers. Even some of Trump's supporters couldn't deny the sting of her precision. She wasn't ranting. She was teaching. America was watching a masterclass unfold in real time. Crockett didn't just push back. She took command of the narrative. The moderator finally regained control and moved to the next question. But the tone of the evening had shifted. Trump looked visibly smaller, unsure of how to recover. He mumbled responses for the next few minutes, clearly shaken. Crockett, meanwhile, grew stronger with every moment, her confidence radiating. Backstage, staffers buzzed with disbelief. Journalists prepared emergency segments for the moment that would soon dominate headlines. It wasn't just about Trump's remark. It was about how a black congresswoman dismantled it without shouting, without rage, but with unstoppable truth and elegance. Political analysts began chiming in across the airwaves. "That's not just a soundbite," said one commentator. "That's a seismic moment in American political discourse." Clips of her response went viral. Celebrities reposted. Activists celebrated. Even neutral observers admitted they had witnessed something unforgettable. Crockett was later interviewed that night. Asked if she was angry, she responded calmly, "Anger wastes energy. I'm focused." And when you're focused, you don't let people define you with petty labels. The interview received millions of views in under 12 hours. People weren't just clapping, they were learning. Meanwhile, Trump's team issued a half-hearted statement, attempting to frame the comment as humorous banter. But the damage had been done. Organizations released statements in solidarity with Crockett. Political groups began fundraising, using her now famous quote, "I was chosen to speak, not to sit." Overnight, Crockett's following tripled. People from all backgrounds flooded her inbox with messages of gratitude and support. Teachers played her clip in classrooms. Women's groups hosted watch parties. It was more than viral, it was visceral. Her words had cut through cynicism and sparked hope. Within days, Crockett was invited onto every major news show. She kept her focus local, meeting with constituents, reminding people that power doesn't come from viral fame, comes from persistent work. "What happened on that stage isn't about me," she said. "It's about every woman who's ever been told to sit down." Trump's team tried damage control, but their spin didn't land. His comment was replayed over and over again, and each time it sounded worse. Historians began comparing the moment to other iconic political clapbacks. Some said Crockett's. The response was on par with Barbara Jordan's or Shirley Chisholm's legacy. She took the momentum and turned it into movement, launching a new initiative focused on empowering underrepresented voices in politics. She named it Stand and Speak. The website crashed from traffic on the first day. Donations poured in. What began as a sexist comment had ignited nationwide action. Even international press took notice. European outlets praised her as a voice of reason in American chaos. African networks hailed her for reclaiming space in a hostile environment. Across borders, Crockett had become a symbol of integrity and fierce truth-telling in the face of disrespect. Later, when asked if she'd accept an apology from Trump, she replied, "He doesn't owe me an apology. He owes one to every girl he's ever tried to silence." That quote would be etched into murals, screen printed onto shirts, and chanted at rallies. It was no longer about the moment, it was about the message. In the end, Trump said 5 words: "Sit down, girl." Nobody asked. Ain't but Jasmine Crockett gave America 1,000 more in reply words that didn't just shut down the insult, but elevated the entire conversation. And as millions watched her rise, one thing was certain: she wasn't just standing up for herself. She was standing for all of us.